This is the new Lucid Air Sapphire. It's an ultra-high performance version of the Lucid Air Saloon that's shaping up to be even quicker than the Tesla Model S Plaid. But that's not the only awesome new car coming soon. I've put together a list of the coolest and most exciting new cars that have just been revealed. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about them because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching CarWow. Buy, sell,
CarWow.
This is the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT. It's only a concept for now, but it shows you what Dodge's first ever electric muscle car will look like. Now let's cut to the chase. It looks fantastic. The outgoing Charger was a fairly podgy four-door saloon, but this new concept is a sleek two-door coupe, just like the classic Charger from the 1960s. The boxy shape hides plenty of cool aerodynamic features, like the integrated front wing that stretches across the bonnet. Under the bonnet sits the new 800-volt electric drive system, which Dodge has called the Banshee. Dodge hasn't spilled the beans on the power output or torque yet of the Banshee, but it did say the new Charger will come with four-wheel drive and it'll be even faster than today's Hellcat models. It'll also have a multi-speed gearbox like the Porsche Taycan and Audi e-tron GT. Dodge hasn't said how many gears it'll get, but it did confirm there'll be track modes, drag modes, and a boost mode. But the weirdest thing about the new Charger is that it has an exhaust system and it's called Fratsonic. Yes, an electric car with an exhaust. Well, sort of. It's more like a sound amplifier built into air ducts that run through the car. It isn't some weedy half-assed attempt at making an electric car sound cool though. Dodge says it can crank out 126 decibels of volume. That's as loud as a Hellcat V8. Now, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the current Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, click on the pop-out banner which should be appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now. Alternatively, use the link in the description. The big news for the new Lucid Air Sapphire is that it's tri-motor. That means that it has two motors at the back and one at the front, instead of a dual motor setup with one motor at the front and one at the back like the standard Lucid Air has. That car was already seriously quick, and I found out for myself when I got a passenger ride up the Goodwood Hill climb in a car driven by the old Top Gear stick, Ben Collins.
Yeah, it's great. Oh! Now
the car he was driving was a Grand Touring performance model, so it had 1,050 horsepower and 1,250 newton meters of torque, and it did 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds, which is seriously rapid. However, the new Sapphire comes with more than 1,200 horsepower. That's almost 200 horsepower more than you get in a Tesla Model S Plaid. The best 0 to 60 miles an hour time I've had out of a Tesla Model S Plaid is this.
what did we get there? 2.4 seconds.
However, that 2.4 seconds was on a badly surfaced road and the car didn't have a full battery. And Tesla claims the Plaid will actually do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1.99 seconds. Though when Tesla measure 0 to 60 times, they use 1 foot rollout, which I don't on my specialist timing gear. Anyway, how does that all compare to the Lucid? Well, the tri-motor Sapphire is supposed to do 0 to 60 miles an hour, just like the Plaid, in less than 2 seconds. How much less? Is it 0.01 of a second like the Plaid, or is it better than that? Well, they haven't said. What they have said is that the new Sapphire will hit 100 miles an hour in less than 4 seconds, has a top speed of more than 200 miles an hour, and will do a quarter mile in less than 9 seconds. That makes it quicker than a 10-year-old Formula 1 car, which can do a quarter mile time in this much. And then it's only slightly slower than a Rimac Nevera, which can do a quarter mile time in this much. Luckily, the new Lucid gets carbon ceramic brakes as standard to cope with all the added performance, which should mean that it brakes a lot better than a Tesla Model S Plaid, which doesn't have very good brakes at all. But then again, the Sapphire is very, very expensive, more than a Tesla Model S Plaid. It costs $249,000. That's around $120,000 more than a Tesla Model S Plaid. Lamborghini has just revealed the Urus Performante. It's the most powerful four-door it's ever made, and it's already setting world records. This SUV has 666 horsepower, the number of the beast, and it's just broken the Pikes Peak hill climb record in Colorado with a time of 10 minutes and 32 seconds. That's 17 seconds quicker than the previous record set by a Bentley Bentayga W12 back in 2018. This new Urus is also 47 kilos lighter than the standard car and comes with load suspension and new unpainted carbon fibre body panels. It also gets a new rally mode designed for dirt tracks. See? it is a proper off-roader after all. Anyway, all these upgrades will set you back around £200,000, including tax. The new Urus isn't the only off-roader Lamborghini's working on, it's also building a jacked-up Huracan. Yes, Lamborghini's famous V10 supercar is getting dirty before it disappears forever. It's only been teased in camouflage so far, but it'll take loads of inspiration from this Huracan Stirato concept from a few years ago. Stirato is the Italian word for dirt road, in case you were wondering. This new car will come with beefy suspension, protective body cladding, and a load of extra LED spot lamps. Lamborghini hasn't revealed any performance stats for this car just yet, but don't expect ludicrous power gains. It might even be the slowest Huracan you can buy, but who cares when you can do 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds over any terrain. BMW is celebrating 50 years of its M division this year. It's giving itself loads of birthday presents, including the new M3 Touring and the forthcoming M2. That car won't be fully revealed until later this autumn, but make sure you're subscribed to this channel and click the bell icon to be notified when I upload a video about this all-new M2. Anyway, BMW has also been working on something very weird. It's this prototype i4. It looks like an i4 M50 with wider wheel arches, but the big news is that this test car is fitted with 4 electric motors. Take that, Tesla and Lucid, with your puny 3-motor systems. BMW hasn't revealed any performance stats yet, but this teaser shows the prototype using its quad motors to do a static 360-degree spin, just like a tank can. This car won't go into production. Ugh, classic. But the technology will show up in fully electric next-generation M cars, maybe even an electric replacement for the M3. Koenigsegg has revealed a brand new limited edition hypercar called the CC850 to celebrate 20 years since its record-breaking CC8S. That car had a supercharged V8 that made 655 horsepower, which was a world record for production cars back in 2002. Fast forward 20 years and the CC850 has a modernised body with loads of aero upgrades. There's even a hidden rear wing inspired by the Regera. The CC850 shares most of its engine with the Jesko, although the turbos are a bit smaller to make sure there's absolutely zero turbo lag. Now, the engine makes 1,185 horsepower standard and 1,385 horsepower if you run it on eco-friendly E85 biofuel. That's more than double the power of the old CC8S. But the best thing about the new CC850 is its manual gearbox. Yeah, this Koenigsegg is the world's most powerful, fastest, manual gearbox-operated production car. This transmission is based on the 9-speed Lightspeed automatic transmission you get in the Jesko, but instead of using pedals to change gear, you shift using a hydraulic clutch pedal and a 6-speed H-pattern gear lever. How does that work? Well, the car decides which gears the linkage engages depending on the driving mode you're in. This means road mode uses a set of gear ratios and track mode uses a set of different ratios. There is an automatic mode if you can't be bothered to change gears yourself, and that's perfect for if you're just using the car daily. But then when you want to have some fun, you can go into manual mode. Essentially, this car gives you the best of both worlds. You don't have to decide if you want a manual gearbox or an automatic, because you have both. Aston Martin is going topless with a new car called the DBR22. It takes inspiration from old Le Mans racing cars from the 1950s, but it's got some cutting-edge tech under that gorgeous carbon fibre body. For example, there's a 3D printed rear subframe and a 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 with 715 horsepower and 753 newton-meters of torque. This means it'll do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.4 seconds and go on to a top speed of 198 miles an hour. Aston Martin has also pulled the covers off a new V12 Vantage Roadster. This has a 700 horsepower version of Aston's twin-turbo V12, and it can do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It also gets plenty of aero upgrades over the standard Vantage to keep it stable when you max it out at its top speed of 200 miles an hour. Hyundai has only just revealed the stunning Ioniq 6 saloon, but it's already working on a high-performance N version. The finished Ioniq 6N will look something like this RN22E concept. It'll get new bumpers, load suspension, larger wheels, and loads of fancy red bits. Under the skin, you'll get a revamped interior and more powerful motors. The RN22E concept comes with a 218 horsepower motor at the front and a 367 horsepower motor at the back. It's pretty much the same as the 585 horsepower setup you get in the Kia EV6 GT. So it's a safe bet that the forthcoming Ioniq 6N will get an equally powerful dual motor system when it arrives in the next few years. Hyundai has also built this mad-looking cyberpunk creation. It's called the N-Vision 74. It's loosely inspired by the Hyundai Pony Coupe prototype from, you guessed it, 1974. That car was designed by the same man who did the original DeLorean, so no wonder this new concept looks like it belongs in a Back to the Future reboot. Anyway, it's powered by two 320 horsepower motors that drive the rear wheels independently of one another. That's not the only weird thing about this car though, because the motors get their power from a hydrogen fuel cell as well as a normal battery. This means it has more than 370 miles of range and can be refueled in 5 minutes, if you use hydrogen. The bad news is that it'll never go into production. Oh well. Now, if you want to check out the most exciting electric cars that are actually on sale now, click on the pop-out banner or follow the link in the description below to watch me drag race the latest EVs from Mercedes, Audi, Porsche and Tesla. This is the Polestar 02 concept. It was revealed earlier this year, but Polestar has just confirmed it will actually put it into production as the Polestar 6. This fully electric sports car will have dual motors producing up to 884 horsepower, and it should be able to do 0 to 60 miles an hour in around 3.2 seconds. You can already put your name down to get a build slot, but there is a catch. Polestar has to sort out the new Polestar 3 SUV first, and then it has to start building the Polestar 5 after that. So this new convertible sports car might be a while off. Bit like the Tesla Roadster, which still hasn't appeared. Don't expect to get your hands on a Polestar 6 until 2026. They'll still probably appear before that Tesla Roadster. McLaren has built a real-world version of its Vision Gran Turismo concept car. You might have already driven this single-seater in the Gran Turismo video game, but now 25 people will get to drive something similar in real life. On a track anyway, not on the road. It's a track-only vehicle. It's called the Solus GT. It looks like a cross between a Formula 1 car and a Le Mans racer, with a hinge canopy from a jet plane. The Solus GT is covered in wings and splitters that help it produce 1,200 kilos of downforce. That's impressive when you consider that the whole car itself only weighs 1,000 kilograms. It's powered by a naturally aspirated 5.2-litre V10 engine that revs to over 10,000 RPM. It produces more than 840 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque and drives the rear wheels through a 7-speed sequential gearbox. McLaren says acceleration times aren't important for a track car, but it claims the Solus GT still does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and has a top speed of more than 200 miles an hour. Maserati is going back to its roots with a brand new coupe called the Gran Turismo Folgore. Unlike old Maseratis, this doesn't come with some hunking great V8 engine. The new GT gets a triple motor electric drive system with 1,200 horsepower. That's more than a Tesla Model S Plaid, and it's almost double what you get in Maserati's MC20 supercar. There's been no word on pricing yet, but you'll be able to get your hands on this brand new electric Maserati in 2023. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know some other videos you'd like to see. And click on those windows there to watch some more videos. And if you click on that box there, you can get a carwow and we will help you sell your car. Just upload some photos, give a brief description, and our dealers will bid on your car to make sure you get a great price for it. Thanks for watching.